Brilliant. We can see the slides.
So I'm talking to you today as a representative of the Data Stewardship Models Task Group within the Professionalising Data Stewardship Interest Group. And I'm talking about a report and a data set that we put out end of last year, end of 2022. So as the name of the interest groups indicates, we focus on data stewardship. And in our modeling of data stewardship, we have started from and returned back to this conceptual diagram. This is the basis of our work. So we aim to model data stewardship within particular service provision, within an organizational context, and understand the target communities of data stewardship and data stewardship provisions. And to address or to better understand these relationships, we performed a survey in 2021, late 2021. You may have seen it going around then. And the survey received a bit over 100 full or partial responses that we were able to retain for analysis. And based on that, we published end of last year a data set and a report, both of which are linked from here. And today I would want to focus on the key findings of the report. So the report tried to get a global snapshot of the way organizations are approaching data stewardship. However, as you see from the first of the key findings, 76% of our respondents came from Europe. So instead of a global snapshot, it's perhaps more of a European snapshot. Regardless, I think we were able to collect some interesting insights and interesting data and insights about data stewardship. We saw that most respondents rated their data stewardship services at earlier stages of maturity. So a lot of services that are still in the process of setting up. There are numerous roles and job titles associated with data stewardship roles, meaning that an organizational context tends to shape data stewardship services quite a bit, tends to shape how data stewards and data stewardship service providers are called. And we see data stewardship roles being fulfilled by people called anything from data managers to research scientists to project manager to data librarian. So we have lots of different job titles that come to play. Key to service initiation is at organization level, some level of awareness and existence of skill around data stewardship. Also existence of institutional policies and senior management buy-in and support to setting up data stewardship services. Users tend to use data stewardship services most frequently for data management planning, but also for selection of tools and services to manage their data. And lack of rewards for data stewardship, especially as compared to rewards and recognitions that researchers, for example, receive for publication, but also difficulty in changing stakeholders' attitudes towards data and data stewardship, are important barriers to data stewardship services. And based on these findings, which show a landscape that is in process of developing, in process of also defining itself and what it is and what it means, we're now thinking of where to go with this data and these first initial insights. And as a task group, what we have been thinking about is to broaden our perspective. As I said, the survey resulted quite Eurocentric, so consideration of actually trying to take a more global look. Obviously, within our question, we ask ourselves is how can we do it, because we really did try the first time around. But also to consider, because within the Eurocentric response, within the 76 respondents from 76% respondents from Europe, it was mostly respondents from the Netherlands and the UK. So also European perspectives that are perhaps not Northwestern European would be of great interest. And another thing we've been thinking about where we could go next is the focus on the service life cycle and data stewardship service evolution, and look at how service models change in time. As I said, a lot of the respondents indicated that their service level was at earlier stages of maturity, so those services are still building, and how to look at how to help services assess themselves, assess their contribution, and reflect where they are and where they want to go. But obviously our task group efforts are shape our interest group efforts, and currently at interest group level, we are very much in a moment of decision making where the interest group at large wants to go next, and whether we should focus more on this data stewardship professional and inquiring how to professionalize the figure of data steward, what does it take to professionalize the figure of data steward, or on the other hand, should we focus more on data stewardship services at organizational level, development of service, and so on. So these data and this report is a stepping stone for further work. The direction of that further work, however, is still to be determined. And this is our group of people working on it, and the group of people that continues to work on it.